Yay Media Group.
But also, you're sounding better.
I almost feel like I'm trying to get it.
You'll hear a story in a second.
Hey guys, episode 122. I was rushing back here to get ready. Lawson had football practice tonight, and then I was rushing home to get here on time so we could do this podcast.
Yeah.
It's crazy day. You've had a long day.
Very long day, very long week. It's technically Thursday. When will they hear this? Who knows? I'm losing track of time and what's happening. Listen, not complaining. Busy is good, but I've been very busy, working hard, and I can't shake this cough or sore throat or whatever the heck I had all week. I had a miss work Monday. When did we do the pod? I'm like so confused. We already did one earlier this week, right? All right, so sorry about that. I sounded like crap on that one, and I sound probably a little better, but still sound horrendous on this one. Today I was at work, and I thought I was getting a little better yesterday, so I decided to work out a little bit and then take a sauna, and I thought that would help. I think it made it worse, maybe, because I probably pushed it a little bit. I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, I was at work today. I thought I was okay. And I was on camera, and my throat was just feeling a little dry. And we were in like our third segment. And this poor, we moved on this show that I'm on, Good Day Colorado. We moved pretty quick. And we had this little girl on about like young entrepreneurs. And this other woman's talking. Then it was the girl's turn to talk. And while she's talking, she was so cute. She's like 11 years old. And she's like, I made this little terrarium. She made this little thing. And her voice was like so sweet. I don't know. Anyways, so while she was talking, I got like that tickle in the back of my throat, like really bad. And I'm like trying to listen to her, and I felt it like worse and worse. And the show I'm on, Good Day Colorado, or I'm sorry, it's Great Day Colorado. I always screw that up. It's Great Day Colorado. And it's live. So she's talking, and all of a sudden my eyes like start watering. And there was a lot of people in there for the segment too. And I was like, and I couldn't hold it anymore. And finally I like covered my mic and I rang off camera, and I was like, ugh, like dying. And they didn't shut my mic off. And Denise, my co-host, oh my God, she's like, poor Jeff, I'm so sorry. And I'm like dying on the side. There's all these people who are like, are you okay? Like mouthing, are you okay? I'm like, my eyes are watering. I'm like pounding water. Then they're like, they get done. Denise, thank God, closes the segment out. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. And like, could you take a picture? I'm like dripping sweat because I'm coughing so much. I couldn't get my voice back. I'm like trying to take a picture. It was the worst, but I got through the rest of the day. Denise is so awesome. Helped me out. But, and then I had to finish that up, and then I had to go on another shoot today. So,
and then a friend of mine called me. She supports you, and she was watching your show. And she's like, Jeff had a cough attack, and her daughter had a dentist appointment. And her daughter's like, is Jeff okay? And then I was like, he had to run off. So then I go, I'll go turn on the TV and tune in. So I tuned in for just like 5 minutes. And then I was like, he seems like he's fine now. And then I talked to you and I was like, I heard you had a coughing attack.
Oh, it was the worst. It was the worst. But anyways, yeah, I finished. It was fine, and I finished the day off. But my voice is just gone now. And now we got to do a whole podcast. So I hope you have some good stories to tell.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So speaking of story, we have an anniversary on Sunday, and it's crazy to think we've been together 16 years, married 9.
Yes.
Every time there's something like Christmas, you get sick, or there's something coming up, you'll be sick on the anniversary, or I'm going to get it.
Well, we're doing something fun for our anniversary. Not typical anniversary stuff, but we're going to the Broadmoor here in Colorado.
I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying you always get sick around that time. Yeah, we're going to the Broadmoor. I've always wanted to go, and we've just never done it. I think the boys were little. It's like a nice hotel.
It's like the nicest hotel in Colorado.
It is?
I think so. It's like
no.
a 4. Yeah, it is. It's like a 4 or 5 star, whatever the nicest is.
It's
there. We've never been there. It's in the Colorado Springs, and it's right next to Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And the reason we're going is because I'm going to be working on Sunday, and they gave us a room. Happy anniversary.
I thought it was always, because everybody always went there with like their partner, spouse, and they're like, you go and you do like spa and golfing.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
what
little
I
golf
thought.
course on there. We're bringing our kids.
Yeah.
Just because we don't have family here to watch them. But it would have been nice to get away for the weekend, but it's all right. I mean, we're still going to experience the hotel, and then we're going to have a nice brunch on Sunday that I'm filming there. So it'll be fun. That'll be a nice
and the
little
boys already
anniversary
told
stuff.
Lawson that we would take them to the Cheyenne Zoo.
And if we do that, I'll be done by like 10 because it's a brunch thing. And then, we could go to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, which if you ever come to Colorado, if you could make it to Colorado Springs, that Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is my favorite. It's like the animals have great enclosures. It's all outside. And I don't know, it's really cool. Really neat.
You feel like you're not even in Colorado.
Yeah.
You're up on
is,
a mountain.
Yeah.
You have these views. You can feed the giraffes. The boys love that.
Yeah.
So make sure you bring cash, because I don't think you can use your card, but you have to pay cash for the food. I don't remember how much it is. It's like a couple bucks, maybe $5. But our kids go crazy for that. That's their favorite spot. And that's like right when you walk in at the zoo.
And make sure you're in shape a little bit because it gets very hilly and you're very high up in altitude.
Remember the last time we went, it might have been a birthday or something. Your mom was with us.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
And she got sprayed. Was it sprayed by it's fake. It was fake with water, right?
Yeah, but like, what was it, an animal?
It was like a rhinoceros, I think, and water comes out of his booty.
Yeah, so it just sprays out.
To cool you down, but I don't think your mom...
No, my mom was walking up this hill, and we're like at the top of it, and she's like struggling a little bit, walking up the hill, and all of a sudden this rhinoceros fake like squirts out of its butt and gets her right in the face with this thing.
And she like screamed. It
oh my
scared
God,
her.
sorry. That was so funny.
That was actually
just like out of the blue. Yeah.
Yeah. And the boys thought it was hilarious.
Oh boy.
That happened. But yeah, if you do ever get a chance, go to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
Yes.
And then you want to take a little break?
After 7 minutes? Sure. Yeah, let's take one. We're going to see Jordan's hosting skills coming up in the next 23 minutes. So we'll be back.
The hosting skills? I know. I don't know anything to talk about, really.
Togethermess is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Sports are going on right now. School, spring break's about to go. It's a very stressful time right now.
Yes. And what you don't need in your life is more stress.
I don't, because I have anxiety. I get panic attacks. But I know there's a lot of you out there that suffer with the same thing, because you've wrote me and told me that you suffer with the same thing. And that's great that you have BetterHelp.
Not everybody out there has someone to talk to, a spouse, a best friend, a mentor, a family member, whatever it may be. Some people don't have that in their life. And I think it's very important to talk to somebody that's impartial about your feelings, whatever they may be, and get some proper help. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. And they make it so easy for you.
I love that you can switch therapist at any time for no additional charge. Because sometimes you might get a therapist and it's not a perfect fit for you. And that's nice that there's no extra charge if you feel like, oh, this person I'm not really vibing with and I need to switch to a different one.
Yeah, so let's talk numbers. Traditionally, in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast, of course. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session.
With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, savings, and big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. I know.
With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You could join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life, plus switching therapists at any time. That's my favorite part of BetterHelp. If you don't match with your therapist, you could switch at any time for free.
Your well-being is worth it. Visit BetterHelp.com/Togethermess today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Togethermess.
All right, welcome back. I was just kidding about the hosting thing.
I'm not a host.
Well, neither am I. I was just joking. Anyways, there are some things I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about, did you hear that Southwest Airlines is getting rid of their free bags?
I just had this conversation today with one of my girlfriends. She was like, they are going to lose a lot of their business because that is why people fly Southwest. I actually sent you that on Instagram.
Well, we talked about it earlier this week on Great Day, Colorado. We had like we tried doing like a little pop culture segment at the beginning, and that was mine. And we only talked about it really quickly. But if you listen to this podcast and you know me, I have a real problem with the airlines taking advantage. And what I loved about Southwest was their customer service.
Was so good.
It seemed like they actually put the customer first, which I don't know any businesses. I know there is out there, but like at the top of my head, I just think big business and they don't care about the customer anymore. And Southwest, I thought, was one company that kept their integrity and really cared about the customers.
So did they say why?
So I read up a little something, and the math doesn't math on this. So they said they're going to bring in about $1.5 billion a year extra for charging passengers bags, right? So if you're the president of the company, of course, you're going to increase your overall profit by 1.5 billion. They said they're estimated to lose 1.8 billion by putting this into effect.
Because people are going to boycott, right?
Right. And that's just an article. Obviously, we don't know the numbers because it hasn't happened yet. But that was just an estimate. But why would you pull the trigger on that if the estimate was you're going to lose, whatever that is?
Yeah. I mean,
right?
That's why we fly with them, because you always talk about the bags.
It's just cheaper. They're real easy to reschedule. All you do if you want to rebook your flight, you just press a button. You get the money back. That if you change your flight, it's just very customer friendly. And for them to do that, I don't know. It just, I didn't feel good about it. I hate
when people get greedy. And everything is always revolved around money. And I know people are always trying to make more money, but I don't like that. It's like, stick with what's working. It's working. Why change it?
Because you got to pay your shareholders. And that's what it's all about when it comes to big business like that. I don't remember when like American Airlines cut back and they took their olives? They took olives out of their salad to bring their overall profit margin up. It's like, how much do you need to squeeze?
Don't y'all wish that we could all just boycott the airlines and have them lose like billions and millions of dollars, and then they would have to make major changes?
Well, people have to get where they're going, and it's such a convenience, right? Of course. But it's like, can we meet in the middle somewhere?
They won't ever
Does it have
change.
to be like, hey, I need to rebook my flight? Cool, $250 to change it. It's like, what are you talking about?
Remember how it used to be trying to change a flight and, or if you needed to cancel a flight, rebook it, get your money back. Remember being on call and holding forever and getting somebody that from another country that took forever, and it was just very frustrating?
Yeah.
That's why it's so nice with us Southwest. I know I was disappointed when I saw that. I sent you that.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know. I was disappointed because I used to have not status, but you pay $100 a year and then you get free bags on different airlines. I'm sure that's what happened on Southwest. So it's $100 extra a year. So I don't know. If you travel more than once or twice a year, it's worth it to have that. So I had that on both United and American, and I got rid of them both because I'm like, I'm not flying them anymore. I'm just going to do Southwest because it goes everywhere. Their flights are way cheaper. I probably will stick with Southwest because I think overall, even with the baggage fee, it's probably cheaper than the other airlines, but I don't know. I hope they don't start cutting back in other areas because I even like their flight attendants.
But that's what's going to happen. They're going to start after this. Then in a year or two, there will be another cut. They're going to stop giving pretzels.
They remember they used to give out like free drink tickets too for Southwest.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they used to have like free drink tickets, like little coupons that you got. I don't know I've never seen those anymore. I don't know if they still do those. But once one thing starts, it's just, that's how it goes,
Southwest always, okay, so my first experience ever flying with Southwest, I don't know if we were engaged. We might have been engaged. And I went with my friend Sabrina to Vegas, and I didn't understand the seating. like the A and then you get in your line. I was like, wait, we don't have like a number assigned seat like most airlines. And I was so lost and confused on Southwest how it was. And she travels and does movies and makeup and all that. And so she's like, oh, Southwest is the best. No, this is back in like 2015. And I remember the plane wasn't even that full. It was me, her, and another friend, Lisa. And we were flying to Vegas. And I remember they had neon lights on. The flight attendant was so funny, was so happy.
Yeah.
Like dancing. Everybody was in the best mood because they're heading to Vegas and they're going on vacation. And that was like my first memory of Southwest. I remember being like, this reminds me like a party on this airline.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of sees it that way in some aspect now. But now, I don't know. I just feel like the corporate bug bit them. And I get it. They need to make money too. I understand that part of it. But it's just like they really captured, I don't know. They really captured like putting the customer first attitude. And now they kind of lost that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when one of your heroes does something that you're like,
oh, man.
Oh, man.
I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, you meet them and then they're like, beat it, punk. And you're like, oh, what'd you say?
I know. I'm
I used to love you,
disappointed
dude.
in you.
Yeah.
Southwest.
So I'm a little sad. I get you need to pay everybody and do your thing, but I don't know. It's just how much money do you need? It's kind of like when I think of Amazon, you hear those rumors like they don't even get a minute off to go to the bathroom.
I've heard that.
I don't know if that's true. I really don't. I don't see how that could be true. I think that's a rumor.
I do know you are timed just because the UPS lady that delivers in our neighborhood, I love her. I will be walking and she will be driving behind me and she sticks her hand out and waves to me when I walk.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's the best. She needs a race. And me and her were standing in the driveway and we'll talk forever. And she goes, I got to go. She was like, because they know how long I've been standing here. So they like track them. So she has a time when she's got to have everything delivered. And I kept talking, obviously, to her. And she's like, I got to get out of here.
You know, like I don't know. I feel like that's lost. Like what happened to being a member of the community? Like that lady is in our.
She is.
Right? But she can't be. I get you have a job to do too. But where's the balance in all that anymore? You know?
I think it's greed.
Like having pride in what you do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is. And of course, it's greed. It's corporate
Everybody
greed.
wants more money.
But how much do you need? Like
that's what I'm saying. But then again, when you start making a certain amount, then you get the big house, then you get the cars, then the vacations and everything. You got to keep up with that. So they need more money. So they get greedier. Instead of keeping what you have, pay it off and just you can still do extravagant stuff, but everybody needs more.
I was listening to Joe Rogan and I forgot who he was talking to, but I'm just using the analogy. He was talking to someone that had a friend that was like a billionaire 3 times over, right? You could never spend that money.
Yeah.
But the billionaire, the 3-time over billionaire, hangs out with guys that have like 50 billion. And he feels, so he feels, the guy with 3 billion feels intimidated. When he's with the 50 billion, he goes, I feel poor. That's what he told this guy. And he's like, I really do. He goes, I feel poor because they have so much more money than I do.
It's $1 billion.
But he's got $3 billion, but he still feels like that. And I think that's where that comes in. And they're like, I need to make more money. I can't hang with these guys because they have 50 billion. They're playing on a different universe. Like no one in 100 lifetimes will ever know what that feels like. But that's where they're playing. That's where the greed comes in because obviously they got to pay their shareholders and their stockholders. And then the guys on top have to battle with other guys on top. Who's got the biggest boat? Who's got the biggest this? Who's got the biggest, quote unquote dick?
I wouldn't be like that. I think that's
but
so
maybe
weird.
You would. I don't know. Maybe you would.
I don't know what that's like being a billionaire, but that's insane. I feel like, do you think billionaires are so stressed out because you have so much responsibility and so much on your shoulders? Or do you think they're not because they have people that they pay to take care of everything?
I don't know. I think it's I think it's alien.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I have no idea what they think.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know, unless they earned it like from the beginning. Like Bezos, he started in a garage. A lot of those guys did. Steve Jobs, whatever. They built up. But like a Kardashian, and I don't mean to knock the Kardashians, kind of like using it as an example. They don't know what reality is.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you have that much money or you're born into that and your parents have that and you've had everything you've ever wanted in life, you don't know what reality is. You don't know what it's like to stress about a bill or losing your job or any of that. You think money buys everything, and they probably have different problems, right? They probably get into drugs, or I don't know what they do. I don't want to throw aspersions on them, but
I don't think Kris Jenner, before Bruce, I think when she was going through her divorce, because I watched this interview, she struggled with the girls. She had to borrow money from, I think it was Kathy Lee.
I'm kind of using them as a metaphor, and I meant the girls.
But I mean, her mom did a wonderful job at marketing them. I mean, look at all of them. They've done. I'm not a Kardashian person, but I mean,
they all did good, and Kim
marketing.
does, and the other one has a makeup thing. Again, I'm not knocking. I'm using them as an example. We don't know what they think at all, zero, and they really don't have a grasp on like what reality is.
No, they don't, and we'll never know their world. Their parties, all the stuff they have, $1 million engagement rings. That's insane.
Yeah, like those. I mean that we're talking America, but you think like overseas, like like Middle East, or like the people in India, like that buy Beyonce to come sing at their kid's birthday party or wedding or whatever. Did you hear about that?
I saw some. No, I don't think it was that.
It was like a wedding or something. This was when we were on
guy
DBL.
in India.
Yeah, and he gave Beyonce like $15 million to come sing for the party. Like that kind of money, when you're billionaire that many times over and you're just like, Beyonce, come sing at my party for my kid.
Good on Beyonce. She's like,
well,
okay.
Who wouldn't take that?
Oh, I would. You want to hire me? I'll sing. I'll pretend I can sing and dance.
$15 an hour, not 15. All right, let's take a break.
Okay. Okay, welcome back. Riley sent us this, and
Riley's our producer, in case you're just tuning in for the first time.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So I'm going to read what she sent us, going back to the whole Southwest thing. More policy changes for Southwest. The airline also recently announced its first ever layoffs, which I hate when people get laid off. Launched its first red-eye flights and intends to end its long-running open seating policy next year.
Wow, so that's going away too.
Yeah.
I wonder if they got a new CEO or like, what, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
That's kind of shaking things up on the profit side.
It could be. Instead, the airline will offer seat assignments and sell extra legroom seats for an additional fee. That's like,
I hate when people do the same thing. It's just like Hollywood. And one corporation does one thing and then all the other corporations follow the exact same model, but they all want to separate themselves. We're ABC, we're NBC, we're CBS. We're all different. No, you're not. You run the exact same business. You do the exact same thing. You hire and fire at the same time, let people go at the same time, downsize at the same time. You're just like an airline.
Yeah. And then it says on May 28th, Southwest will add a heavily discounted basic economy fare class that will guarantee a flyer a seat on a plane, but will likely come with restrictions similar to other carriers.
Just like
basic economy offers. But Southwest remains hopeful that customers are still going to love flying with its airline due to its hospitality. Forget it, Southwest.
That's just
like everybody else.
That's exactly United. That fly economy. If you cancel your ticket, like you lose it. It's like horrendous. So never buy that economy ticket from United. It's terrible. If you have to make any changes or anything, it's a cheaper ticket, but you can't do anything with that. Like, it's a really bad ticket. Don't get that. And it sounds like they're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What makes you different?
Boy, oh boy.
I know.
Boy, oh boy,
makes
life's
me
hard.
Sad. Did you see, my mom was telling me today, now I need to look this up. There is a girl from, the college girl missing in Punta Cana.
Oh, I did
Am I
see
saying
something
that
like
right?
that. Yeah.
It's a U.S. student. Where is she going? Hang on, I'll restart this episode. I just want to make sure I know.
Restart the episode?
Yay Media Group.
like restart the thing. I just want to make sure so I'm not giving wrong information.
All right, start over.
Did you see there is a student missing from the University of Pittsburgh missing in Punta Cana? Am I saying that
Cana,
right?
Mexico. Yeah, I briefly saw the story when I was leaving this morning. I saw that she was missing, and I didn't hear what happened.
Well, right now, I mean, my mom's the one that we were talking about it because my mom brought it up because when I graduated high school, that was in 2005. That was when Natalie Holloway went missing. And my mom was like really invested in that because I was the same age as Natalie Holloway. And my mom would always just be like, man, I can't understand what her mom, I can't even imagine what her mom is going through right now. And me and my mom were talking about it. And she was like, what do you think? Do you think they're going to find her? And I was like, I hope so. But right now they have a person of interest.
So they think there was foul play? Is that what they're thinking?
Well, I'm not going to say anything because I haven't done my research, but she was with a group and there's a guy she's walking with that she was last with. And it's like a big guy and they're in surveillance and they're walking together. So he was the last person with her. So he's a person of interest right now. But I'm not going to say anything else because I haven't done my research and I don't know. And I haven't been watching the news because it just stresses me out. But it just makes me so sad. I hope they find her. I hope it's not a Natalie Holloway thing.
Me neither. I'm just laughing because you're like, I got a breaking news story. I can't talk about it.
But I don't know details. No, we were just because my mom was saying to me.
Did she drown or is it foul play? What are they
know.
leading to? I'm not assuming anything. I'm just asking.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, great story.
But
I'm sure our listeners are super intrigued.
My mom, we were talking about today, and she was like, would you, if the boys were in high school, would you let them go on a trip? Remember when you were a senior and you get to go, like, I think, wasn't your graduation gift backpacking Europe?
No, that was after college. But in high school, I went we would drive to Panama City and get bad tattoos. Yeah, so I understand. I understand the struggles of.
That was a thing. My sister, her senior year, when she graduated, she went to Mexico. She went to Cancun. Me, I had no interest of leaving anywhere. I was okay with going to Myrtle Beach. So I just went to Myrtle Beach. I didn't care about leaving the country at the time. But what me and my mom were talking about is, I'll give an example. Like when you graduated college, you and Nick backpacked Europe and there are pictures you have like Polaroid pictures that you took from your disposable camera. And I was asking you when I was going through your photos, like, oh, who was that? And there were like some girls in the photos and you're like, oh, we met them and we're just hanging out. And there were some guys in there and you're like, we know, we were all hanging out. You can't really do that anymore.
Can you or no? I think you can.
I don't know. Being a woman, I would have my guard up. I know most people who travel have their guard down, who have a love for travel, love meeting people. Me traveling, I think I would have my guard up. If somebody hands me a drink, and I've always been this way, if somebody hands me a drink, I dump it or I set it to the side. I did that one time in Vegas. Like these guys got us drinks and, I just dump my beer to the side. And if I have a beer and I'm out somewhere, I will put my thumb in the beer and just keep it in there until I drink. And I do that because I'm just like paranoid. I don't trust anybody.
Sometimes I put a thumb in my butt just to feel safe.
You're so stupid. But I feel like I would have my guard up. But my mom was telling me that. And I was like, well, I have boys. I feel like Lawson and Layton will be big enough. I don't know. I feel like things happen more so to young girls. And if I had a daughter, I would be way more protective than I would our boys.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think so too. And I think women have to be more cautious as well.
Yeah.
It's not a sexist thing. It's just taking care of yourself thing, Mm-hmm. But when I went with my buddy Nick to that story, we went for 2 weeks together and then I went for 2 weeks by myself.
I know.
But I was cautious too. I mean, I was 22. I could take care of myself, but I still was cautious because I ran into people at every stop that got their stuff stolen or, whatever, that got jumped or beat up. I mean, I had it was like a fanny pack, like The Rock, but it was thin. and I put it around and I'd keep my and it would go inside my pants, like
Okay.
between my underwear and my pants. So I couldn't get pickpocketed. And I kept my passport and my everything I could not lose in that thing when I was moving. Like,
and there were no cell phones then, were there?
no, like when I was on the trains and stuff. And then when I slept, like, cause you put your stuff like right above you usually, you know, it's like it's hard to rest because I didn't want people stealing my stuff. So I was on many times. I was on trains and stuff, and they're like, somebody stole all my stuff, man. Could you help me out? You know, and I just heard a lot of stories. One time when I was in Barcelona at the end of my trip, I just went and got a hostel. And sometimes it's you and 2 people, sometimes it's you and 5 people, sometimes it's you and 2 girls or 3 guys.
Ew, in one room?
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of you get a little lock, you lock your stuff up, and then you go see the city. So when I got there to Barcelona, it was a 2-person room. And it was some guy, I think he was from Sweden or something. I don't know. And we got there at the same time. And he's like, oh, what's up, dude? He's like, I'm a chef. I'm from Sweden. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, you ever been to Barcelona? He's like, oh, yeah, I've been here a couple of days already. He's like, I'll show you some cool stuff. You want to go? I was like, yeah. So that's how you meet people, you know? And then I just went with him and he goes, oh, man, be careful at night when you come back. He goes, someone put a knife to my throat. I go, where? And he's like, here at the hostel. I'm like, right here outside? He goes, yeah, make sure you make it back before dark. I was like, oh my God, that was the first story he told me. He's like, you want some paella? And I was like, you don't even care? He's like, no, I just gave him my money. You know, he's like, don't carry too much money with you. And I guess it's like happens all the time.
No way.
Nothing happened to me, but there was a lot of stories that I heard.
And
then,
you were able to sleep in the hostel without like in rest and close your eyes? I would have one eye open the
yeah,
whole
but
time.
then you're in the room with that person, right? And you have your stuff locked up. And like we went out and had drinks and he showed me like all this food and stuff. And everyone's kind of there for the same. I know people have bad intentions, but everyone's kind of there for the same thing. And then when I was in Italy, I didn't know anybody. And you just sit down and then all of a sudden at a table, like 3 girls are like, hey, are you American? You know, yeah. Oh, why don't you come here? Are you by yourself? Or you go to a pub crawl and everybody signs up and they meet there at 4 and everybody's there for the same thing. So they're like, oh, you're here for the pub crawl? Cool. Where are you from? Oh, you're from Romania? That's awesome. And then that's how it is, you know, and you kind of look out for each other. You could tell if someone's shady. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Sometimes there can be
I don't know. I just like that. I get what you're saying, and especially now with social media and knowing what I know. Maybe I was a little more naive and optimistic at the time, but I still think the world's a good place. I know everyone thinks it's going to blow up and we're all going to die, but I really do. I think the majority of people out there, the big majority, 80% of people are good people willing to help wherever you go in the world. I really believe that. I do. And I know there's bad parts
I know
of
there's
things.
good people and there's bad parts everywhere.
Right. But I
I
think
watch
for the
too
majority,
much-
people want to help.
I watch too much true crime.
Especially if you're traveling. And traveling's such a great way to learn about yourself and the world. It's the best education I've ever got.
Right. I know. I want to take our kids, but we take our kids, not them go by themselves
Yeah, that's what they
when
want.
they're older.
They want to go to Europe with their parents
Well, at least I can protect them if something
with their
goes
sunglasses half on,
wrong.
looking
Oh,
over.
Speaking today at practice, Lawson and his little buddy have on right now. I don't know if you have anybody around our kids' ages. They wear those 80s reflective looking glasses. I don't know what they're called.
I know exactly. Everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then the socks they wear up high. And you wear your socks up high with Crocs, or you wear them with like your Nike shoes. And Lawson my dad bought them all these arm sleeves. So Lawson,
He bought like 12 pairs of arm
he bought
sleeves.
more. We have more coming.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so Lawson and his friends mix and match them. And just today, I was just like, oh my gosh, just like how the kids look now and just the conversations they were having in the car. I was like, we are there. We are at this point. Like our kids are officially older.
I know. I hate it. They're like, when they fall asleep, their hands are bigger, their feet are bigger. I'm like, where's my baby boys?
I know.
They're so
Leighton always
big.
puts his arm across my chest like this, and I have a big belly, and he's like tries to stretch his arm as far as he can around.
Get out of here.
And it's just so cute. But anyways, on that note, read something positive.
Oh, you want to read it
Yeah.
today?
I'll read it.
Hold on. Sorry.
Hopefully by Monday you'll be back.
I hope so.
Fear less, hope more, whine less, breathe more, talk less, say more, hate less, love more, and all good things are yours.
See?
Yeah.
Kind of like traveling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Trust the people when you're
Get a live,
traveling.
laugh, love pillow.
All right. Somebody had wrote me and asked where you can get your Togethermess merch. You asked me on the comments on here. It's Togethermess merch. No, it's togetherness.com. I'm sorry. Togetherness.com. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, tagging your friends. Jeff's going to go over here and choke, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yay Media Group.